As University Marshal of these proceedings, I hereby declare this ceremony of installation open and direct the procession to begin. Will the audience please remain standing for the processional? Will everyone please be seated? It is with great pleasure that I present Mr. Ronald Vickroy, who will preside at today's ceremony.
In keeping with long-standing tradition, representatives of our local community and the academic community will now extend their salutations to Dr. Spectar and the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. From the community, David H. Fyock, Chairman, Greater Johnstown, Cambria County Chamber of Commerce.
Dr. Spectar, Chancellor Nordenberg, faculty, staff, citizens, it is both a pleasure and an honor to be allowed to welcome you here to this community. On behalf of the business community, I assure you that all of us look forward to working with you to continue to make this community what it ultimately can be. We love the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. Many of us have attended this, in my case, many years ago. And I look forward to helping to work with you, Dr. Spectar, to help grow this university and to work with the community to make it more than it is today, but not what it will be tomorrow. Welcome, and thank you.
From the academic community, Beth Barnett, Provost, Ramapo College of New Jersey.
Good afternoon. What a wonderful week. An 80th year anniversary and the inauguration of a new president. UPJ, you are blessed. A location in the gorgeous hills of Western Pennsylvania. You are blessed with a faculty and staff who understand the need of a job well done and are willing to work until that job gets done. And of course, you are blessed with your students. These individuals who come to UPJ with a view towards changing their lives and who, after their experience here, will be prepared to go out and change the world. UPJ, you who are so blessed, have just made a very wise decision. You have brought to this campus Dr. Jem Spectar as your new leader. Jem is an individual who is a seeker of excellence, an individual who will be the architect of progress, an individual who is a leader of success. I have worked with Jem in the past. I know his dedication. He will walk with you as you address the issues here, both at UPJ and in higher education in general. Jem is dedicated to internationalization. He'll work with you over the concerns we all have of safety on campus. And of course, he will work very hard to help secure the funding for student scholarships, faculty research, and for staff development. You have brought to this campus a true leader, and as you face problems, he will walk with you. It is a great pleasure to bring greetings to Jem, both from Ramapo College of New Jersey and from Robert Morris University and the University of Scranton and all of his sister institutions who are there, of course, to help, to guide, and at times to commiserate as we move forward in this enterprise that's called higher education. I also bring best wishes. This is a campus that's rich in its history, that has so many blessings, has just added one. I have no doubt that we are going to see a very successful presidential term for Jem Spectar. I thank you for welcoming us all here today, and again, best wishes for success. Thank you.
From the alumni, Gladys Go, President, UPJ Alumni Association.
Dr. Spectar, Chancellor Nortenberg, honored guests, friends of the university, and community members. As president of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown Alumni Association, and on behalf of the more than 17,000 alumni, we are honored to welcome you to our community. As alumni, we take pride in this institution, which has long distinguished itself through the quality of its faculties, the excellence of its academic offerings, and the warmth of its community. And we have gained knowledge, experience, and fond memories during our years here at UPJ, our home away from home. We look forward to working with you to help bring to reality your vision for the future of the university. We embrace the enthusiasm, inspiration, and leadership that we already have witnessed during your first few months. We are honored and delighted by your commitment to our alumni and its association members. Most importantly, we are excited for those future alumnus whose students are here today, whose lives you will help shape. We are certain that you will come to love this campus as much as we do. Please accept our sincere congratulations on this special day and best wishes as you follow this new path that is set before you.
From the students, Angela Mazer, President, Student Senate.
President Spectar, honored guests, fellow students, administrators, faculty, and staff. On behalf of the student body of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Jem Spectar, the 5th president of our university. I've had the great pleasure of working with Dr. Spectar since the end of the last school year and have been extremely impressed in the interest he has taken in our university and most importantly, in our students. In the short period of time that he has been here, he has made every effort possible to reach out to the students, whether by meeting them in the cafeteria at dinner time or by helping them carry box after box during freshman move-in day. His efforts and his presence on this campus have been greatly appreciated by every student who has the pleasure of working and speaking with him. His interests are sincere and his ambition is strong. As a result, I anticipate positive changes within the university, many of which have already occurred and have transformed UPJ for the better. Once again, on behalf of the student body, it is my honor to welcome Dr. Spectar as the 5th president of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown.
From the staff, Andrea Liebfried, President, Staff Activities and Concerns Association.
Dr. Spectar, Chancellor Nordenberg, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and invited guests. It is an honor for me to stand before you and deliver salutations on behalf of the staff. Dr. Spectar, I want to welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. At UPJ, we are like a family. We take great pride in UPJ by working together to make this institution one of the finest of its kind. We have carried on a vision of excellence that started 80 years ago. Our vision has never stopped, and it will always challenge us to be the best we can be. Dr. Spectar, in the short amount of time that you have been at UPJ, you have embraced many new challenges, you have opened new windows, and you have given this campus a new sense of energy which I believe will only strengthen UPJ's commitment to excellence. As we celebrate this day in your honor, we are also putting our trust in you to advance this campus in a positive direction. I believe that with your understanding, your enthusiasm, and your strong leadership, you will successfully guide us to a higher level of excellence so that we can continue to be UPJ proud. Dr. Spectar, at this time, I want to congratulate you on becoming the 5th president of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. Thank you.
From the faculty, John Thompson, President, Faculty Senate.
Dr. Spectar, honored guests, friends of UPJ, on behalf of the Faculty Senate, I am honored to welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. I would like to impress upon all of us that we heed the advice of the writer of Proverbs. Do not let kindness and truth leave you. bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, so you will find favor and good repute in the sight of God and man. Thus may it be that as we progress together, that truth and kindness are our hallmark. Welcome.
From the Advisory Board, E. Jean Gleason, Chair, UPJ Advisory Board, Member, Board of Trustees of the University of Pittsburgh.
It is a real pleasure for me to offer a warm University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown welcome to Chancellor Nordenberg, Provost Marr, Vice Provost Pack, and all of our distinguished guests and friends. On behalf of the members of the UPJ Advisory Board, it is an honor to stand here before you today on such an important and exciting occasion. Congratulations and best wishes to Dr. Spectar on this momentous day in both his life and in the life of UPJ. By its very name, an advisory board indicates a group of dedicated individuals who share the goal of giving counsel and service for the good of the university. Indeed, we think of ourselves as an integral part of the university community, and in fact, 23 members of our advisory board are UPJ alumni. We are your friends and neighbors. We live here, we work here, and in many cases, we provide others with work. And our children attend UPJ as well. We care about the same things that you care about, and we especially all care about UPJ. As a community devoted to undergraduate education and to lifelong learning, UPJ draws its mission from a commitment to the advancement of knowledge and the cultivation of values, like those cited in our vision statement: academic excellence, community partnerships, diversity, accountability, and service. As advisory board members, we are united in our belief that an academic institution is important to the well-being of our region, and we certainly know how it impacts the lives of our citizenry. We believe that a positive educational force like UPJ affects our quality of life and the economic progress of our area. We are well aware, too, of the importance of being part of a respected system as large and diverse as the University of Pittsburgh. We understand that we reap the benefits offered by its national reputation as a major research institution. We are committed to the success of the entire University of Pittsburgh system, but on this auspicious occasion, we pledge our support to UPJ's new leader and fifth president, Dr. Jem Spectar. Dr. Spectar, your responsibilities as president are significant, but we hope you will experience much satisfaction as you carry out your charge. You will build upon a fine tradition set by your predecessors, by former advisory board members, faculty, and staff, and the 16,000 alumni who are the legacy of this campus. The members of the advisory board are here to help you succeed, and our community is now your community. We welcome you wholeheartedly, Dr. Spectar. And we thank all of you for joining this celebration of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown and for sharing the new beginning being offered to us by President Jem Spectar. I extend our regards to all of you from our community of learners and scholars on this happiest of occasions. Thank you.
At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Professor Mark Nordenberg, Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Professor Vic Roy, and good afternoon, everyone. Now, let me rephrase that, because this is not just a good afternoon. It really is a great afternoon, an afternoon that has brought us together to formally install Dr. Jem Spectar as the president of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. And today's ceremony also caps a week-long celebration of UPJ's 80th anniversary and precedes a weekend of exciting homecoming activities. In fact, the first plea directed to me when I arrived on campus earlier today was, "Can't you do something to slow that Dr. Spectar down? He's only been here for a couple of months, and we're already worn out trying to keep up with him." Don't worry, Mr. President. We want you to keep moving ahead at full speed. Today also is something of a homecoming for me. I began traveling to this campus more than 20 years ago when I was still a relatively young faculty member, innocent and unscarred by administrative experience. Perhaps because I came here to participate in institution-wide retreats, I always have considered UPJ to be a very special pit place in terms of its noble mission, in terms of its great physical beauty, and in terms of the talent and commitment of its people. Last May, it was my privilege to speak at the commencement ceremony formally marking the end of the last year in the tenure of Al Etheridge as president of UPJ. Today marks the beginning of another chapter in the proud history of this campus as we empower Dr. Spectar to begin building on the strong foundation that is the legacy of past UPJ presidents. Pitt itself was founded as a log cabin academy 220 years ago in 1787, when Pittsburgh sat at the very edge of the American frontier. In that same year, to provide some sense of perspective, our Constitution breathed life into a new nation, the United States of America. Today, we are a major provider of the highest quality higher education, a center of pioneering research, and a caring, contributing citizen of each of the 5 Western Pennsylvania communities that we call home. This campus has made important contributions to the successes of our university since its own founding in 1927. The 80-year history of UPJ often is said to span 3 periods tied to the physical location of the campus. They include the Johnstown high school years, the Cypress Avenue or asphalt campus era, and the more modern era that began 40 years ago with the move to Richland Township. At every step along the way, whatever its physical location, UPJ has been a key provider of individual opportunity and an essential part of the fabric of this community. Today, UPJ sits in a place of great beauty on a 650 wooded acre campus that is particularly striking as we move into the beauty of autumn. It is the home to facilities that would be the envy of any campus, including the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center. And as I noted earlier, Pitt Johnstown also is blessed with faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends who understand that education has the power both to elevate individual lives and to strengthen our society. Pitt Johnstown now is regularly recognized by external sources as one of the top public comprehensive colleges in the northern part of the United States. Closer to home, it always has been characterized by a can-do spirit and the well-deserved pride of its people. But as much pride as we may have in the institution today, we know that the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown can build even stronger tomorrows. And our new president is a person who is committed to ensuring that this campus realizes its even greater potential. Clearly, Dr. Spectar is a person who believes in the power of education. If you doubt that, just look at your program and count his degrees. He has earned 6 of them, a bachelor's degree, 2 masters of arts degrees, an MBA, a Juris Doctor, and a PhD. If those 6 degrees don't beat anyone in the House, I would be surprised. Dr. Spectar also is an award-winning teacher and an experienced administrator. He is a man of the world, having come to this country from Cameroon, West Africa, and much of his own academic work involves critical issues that are not confined by national borders, including the global AIDS pandemic, international human rights, and intercontinental environmental governance. But this man of the world also has a leadership style that is locally focused. Almost immediately upon his arrival at Pitt Johnstown, Dr. Spectar issued a call to campus conversations. In his letter to members of the UPJ community, welcoming them back for the start of a new academic year, Dr. Spectar expressed his own sense of optimism about the future of this campus. This is what he said: "As we enter this new era in UPJ's history, it is an honor to travel alongside you and to serve you. I am inspired and energized by fellowship with kindred folk who are perennially striving for excellence in teaching, scholarship, research, and service to humankind. I look forward to our robust dialogue about the pressing issues of our time and the dynamic role of the 21st Century Academy." Dr. Spectar has pledged that as president, he will devote his considerable talent and energy to the task of building further on UPJ's strong existing foundation. With your support, I have no doubt that he will effectively meet the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. Put another way, with your help, he will fulfill the special trust that accompanies his acceptance of this important leadership position. A person who has discharged his own leadership responsibilities in ways that have helped fuel our progress and earn the respect of everyone connected with the university is our provost, Dr. James Marr. Jim also has special connections to and a special fondness for this community. Let me then call upon the provost to share some of his thoughts on this special occasion. Dr. Marr.
Thank you, Chancellor Nordenberg. Greetings, President Spectar. Friends of the university, faculty, staff, and students, I'm delighted to be here reflecting with you on what today means. This is a year of many birthdays. This university turned 220 years old along with the U.S. Constitution this year. 220 years of striving with much success, but also much effort to serve the needs of the people of Western Pennsylvania. This vibrant school of the university turns 80 years old this year. This beautiful campus on which this school is housed turns 40 years old this year. And we're installing a brand new president to lead this campus. It's hard not, at a time like this, to rededicate ourselves, having reflected on what it all means to have been here this long doing the job we're doing. And so all of our dreams that grow from those reflections are being placed on the energy and the talent of Dr. Spectar. In getting to know him during this past year, I have great confidence that those dreams are well placed and that we're going to do very well in this coming period. And my main dream, if I can crystallize it for you, in this coming era of a global economy where the one thing everyone seems to agree on is that the future of the economy of a given area couldn't depend more on any one thing than on the quality of the educated people within the community and their ability to lead the economy. So the dream is that under President Spectar, as he develops this school, the students of this school will go out into the community superbly educated, very able to think very clearly, very aware of the world that surrounds this community in its diversity and in its challenges, very able to express their thoughts in writing and in speaking and in communicating to the many cultures of the global economy in which this community is immersed, and extraordinarily able to provide what is needed to lead us into the future. It's a heavy burden we're placing on you, President Spectar, but it's one that I think you are particularly well suited to shoulder, and I look forward to working with you to help you to succeed in meeting the real heavy obligation the University of Pittsburgh has to the people of this state. Welcome aboard.
Dr. Spectar has requested that at this time we share with you all special greetings sent to him from 3 world leaders. We will begin with a video message from Nobel Prize winner Desmond M. Tutu, Anglican Archbishop Emeritus of Cape Town, South Africa, followed by letters from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, first woman president of the Republic of Liberia, and former United States President William Jefferson Clinton. The letters will be read by 2 members of the Platform Party.
Dear friends, I send you my warm greetings, and to Dr. Jem Spectar, especially my heartiest congratulations on your inauguration today as the 5th president of this illustrious institution. I would have wished so very much to be with you to share this happy occasion with a brother from our beloved continent of Africa. It is often overlooked that one of the most valuable exports from Africa are her people. You'll find them in universities across the globe where they are making a distinguished contribution to academia. This university is also celebrating its 80th anniversary this year. I note that the lecture series commemorating this event has a focus on some of the most pressing issues of our time: peace building, conflict resolution, poverty, HIV and AIDS, anti-slavery, and human rights. These are immense challenges, but when we can put people into space, these challenges are surely not insurmountable. What is required is the will to overcome them. It is at universities such as the University of Pittsburgh that the determination and commitment to excel, surpass, and overcome is affirmed and nurtured. I am confident that students from this institution, under the guidance of Dr. Spectar, will make a substantial and positive difference to the world. Go for it. God bless you.
From the Office of the President of the Republic of Liberia. Dear Dr. Spectar, from one West African visionary and leader to another, I would like to extend my congratulations to you for your achievements in academia. Indeed, a solid educational foundation is the underpinning of a great university and a great nation. It is with pride that I recognize the contributions by the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown to its community of students, faculty, and staff, and wish you well as you embark on a most important mission as president. As a person of African descent in the United States, you have shown our continental compatriots here and abroad that hard work and dedication do pay off. Your passion and professional contributions to scholarly work focused on international human rights and the rule of law are indeed an asset to the entire university. The nation of Cameroon will undoubtedly boast of your achievements as a child of their soil. Best wishes to you and the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. Sincerely, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
From William Jefferson Clinton.
Warm greetings to all those gathered to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown. I am also pleased to join your community in welcoming Dr. Jem Spectar as you inaugurate him as the university's 5th president. Excellence in education is the key to our future. For 80 years, the faculty and staff of the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown have been offering an ideal learning opportunity for their students and preparing them for the responsibilities that lie ahead. Our nation relies on schools such as yours to supply the knowledge and skills necessary to compete in the 21st century. I am confident that the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown will continue to endow future generations with expertise and guidance. Best wishes for a memorable celebration and for much success in the future, Bill Clinton.
There is a time for talk and there is a time for action. I have been studying your faces from my vantage point on the stage and believe we have reached a point in the ceremony calling for a little bit of the latter. So let me ask Dr. Spectar, accompanied by the provost, to join me at the podium to receive the medallion symbolizing the high office that he now holds. Jem Spectar, this medallion is a symbol of the authority we now give to you, the trust that we now repose in you, and the high expectations that we all have for you. We wish nothing but the best for you and for this campus community, and we look forward to working with you to achieve great things here at the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown as we move forward together.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Nordenberg, Senior Vice Chancellor Dr. Maher, dear students, faculty, staff, alumni, members of Learned Society, distinguished guests, colleagues, and dear community members. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, UPJ. This anniversary is a new beginning and a continuation of the journey started by our UPJ predecessors 80 years ago. It is therefore a fitting time to speak of renewal as we explore the future, as we gather momentum on the wings of hope and possibility following the arc of human progress, as we fulfill our obligations to our predecessors in the academy and our duty to society. Today, another dawn springs forth in a place brimming with blue and gold, pregnant with possibility, overflowing with mountain cat pride, as we say, mountain cat pride to you. Energized by the prospects of new peaks, we are intent on honoring and building on this treasured legacy. We are poised to explore a new dimension of excellence for real-world readiness. On this day, my heart is bursting with gratitude to all who propelled me here. My mom and dad. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Dad, I have to say I did not quite get to be a medical doctor, but I hope this works, right? My grandparents, all my brothers. Stand up, Lonnie, Tammy. Thank you, guys. One could not make it. He had a minor mishap on the way here, and so he was delayed, but he's fine, and I really miss him, and I miss my brother at the University of Cambridge, who this week, Bo is defending his thesis, his PhD thesis, in something called, I think, ubiquitous computing. I'm not sure what that is, but he must be. We're very proud of him. He's our youngest, and I wish he were here. But thank you, guys, for coming. I'm grateful to my teachers, mentors, and colleagues from Africa, and there are a few of them here, to America, to members of the UPJ community, the Presidential Search Committee, chaired by Dr. Park. Thanks for inviting me back. You know, they don't always do. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for your confidence and support. Thank you for inviting me to join you, friends and well-wishers from around the world, fellow Shesans, that's my high school in Africa. There are several of them here. You know who you are. Thank you. I'm especially grateful to the students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members, including retired faculty and staff, new members of our President's Emeritus Club. And we had a wonderful meeting last week. Was it last week or this week? It feels that way, doesn't it? All of you, our former president, Dr. Albert Etheridge, and the cabinet that served over him, who continues to serve with me, all of you, make this place a special place of pride and possibility. By your efforts, seeds of hope continue to be scattered across our community, nourishing the landscape of human civilization. As these seeds flower and flourish, you deserve great credit and great commendations. Heartfelt gratitude to all members of the 80th Committee, especially the chairpersons, Honorary Chair, Ms. Gleason, Committee Chair, Dr. Darling, Co-Chair, Ms. Joyce Rodovanik. Let all the members of the Planning Committee please stand and be recognized. Mountain Cat High to you. Where are you? Stand up. Thank you. Thank you. Special thanks to the people of Johnstown, a place which by virtue of history, experience, spirit, and values could be called Resilient City, USA. That's right, Resilient City. Doesn't that sound a little better than flood? That's an... This university, thank you. This university, rooted in Johnstown values, imbued with the Johnstown spirit, is a place of consequence. I have appreciated the ethos of community pride, a determination that we must go on, that I see in this community. The community transforms the periodically cruel tides of nature into opportunities for renewal, revival, and restoration. Thank you, Johnstown. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. As UPJ approaches the century milestone, UPJ has flourished, has emerged as a vital and vibrant campus of the University of Pittsburgh, a preeminent global institution, and we are proud of it. From our uniquely picturesque location on these Laurel Highlands, we are proud of our accomplishments, yet we are not content to rest on our laurels, however right they may be. Working with the entire panoply of Pitt people, as the Chancellor calls us, with a lot of help from our community friends, UPJ is strengthening our communities, thereby transforming the world around us through the liberating power of learning. Today, we celebrate 80 and 220 as part of the Millennium Plus legacy of learning that harkens back to the Academy of Antiquity, a legacy that has been handed down to us in an unbroken chain through the ages. In effect, we are the fortunate heirs of a world of ideas and a culture of inquiry, that can be traced to the ancient classical, monastic, and medieval origins of higher learning to our more contemporary manifestations. Today, we pursue our aims for a new era, a new dimension of excellence, mindful of our inheritance, a legacy of learning of which we are mere guardians and temporary trustees. Through our high-quality programs in the arts and sciences, UPJ teachers, scholars, and students, as well as our staff, are building on this legacy of learning. Today, much like yesterday, the heart of the academic endeavor pulsates with a puissant passion, the perennial and restless pursuit of truth, knowledge, and positive solutions for the advancement of humanity and for the progress of civilization. A high-minded quest, I dare say, a high-minded quest indeed for guiding light in the blind alleyways of our ever-so-brief odyssey. In living the examined life at this university, our community of teachers, scholars, and learners continues to wrestle with the age-old list of contentious questions, an exhilarating challenge, a Rubik's Cube of propositions and problems and seeming paradoxes, the polemic between existence and essence, the quest for understanding behavior, cognition, consciousness, and spirituality, the borders between science and religion, if they exist, the different ways of expressing and manifesting ideas, phenomena, and individuality, our relationship to the environment, the proper balance between liberty and security, theories of justice, the essential nature and origin of man and woman, the eternal question about the meaning and purpose of life, and of course, the application of knowledge for the improvement of humankind. Today, we pay homage to that UPJ community, including our retired colleagues who continue to follow the path of the sages, keeping alive the great works, inducting a new generation into the world of ideas and grand ideals by engaging in critical thinking and appreciation of the arts, by engaging in quantitative reasoning, by engaging in research and writing. Our community of teachers and scholars advanced the struggle for progress jump-started by early thinkers, from Imhotep, Pythagoras, and Claudius Ptolemy, despite his errant assumptions about a flat earth, to Aquinas and Da Vinci of the Renaissance. In our labs and classrooms, our faculty, students, staff, you extend a march of scientific knowledge which took an exponential leap forward in the discoveries of Copernicus, Kepler, Galileo, Bacon, Newton, George Washington Carver, Edison, Einstein, and of course, our own Salk, who developed the polio vaccine. Go, Pitt. We got to pitch for ourselves too, right? Every day, our community of teachers, learners, and scholars engages in work designed to continue that tradition of inquiry, going back to illustrious thinkers as Galileo, Erasmus, Martin Luther, and other primogenitors of reasoned dissent, dialectic, and disquisition, harbingers and heroes of our scholarly tradition. Our legacy of learning for a better world goes back to the titans of the Enlightenment and the legends of the American founding. Through high-quality programs in the arts and sciences, UPJ faculty, students, and staff, including those in our professional programs in education, engineering, technology, business, nursing, computer science, to name a few, continue to advance the ideas and ideals of civilization. By pursuing truth, learning, and service to humankind, our communities of teachers and scholars, learners, and citizens is proud to stand on the monumental shoulders of illustrious men and women of yore, including Grotius, Voltaire, the philosophe Montesquieu and Rousseau, as well as Locke, Jefferson, Thomas Paine, Franklin, the Federalists, and Susan B. Anthony, to name but a few. Thank you for keeping the light on inside the tunnel by stoking the little brush fires of curiosity in the hearts and minds of men, the only way forward. We celebrate today, we celebrate 80, and so this talk would be a little long because we're going to celebrate 80, and I'll talk a little bit about my inauguration. So relax, it's going to be long, just don't worry. See, the faculty here understand it, right? They set up the syllabi, they warn the students. This class is going to be rigorous, and that's what we like. We celebrate faculty, students, and staff that engage in and appreciate the creative arts. Our faculty scholars and artists link head and heart, substance and soul, as they give voice to our lofty sentiments and sensibilities, enlivening each moment with the alchemy of imagination, representing the universal impulse to break out in poetry and song and dance, unifying the tribal dancers from time immemorial to the magical movements of Baryshnikov and Alvin Ailey. We are UPJ proud because UPJ is a community that sustains and celebrates the arts in our classrooms, as well as in this beautiful building, the Pasquarella Performing Arts Center, and much gratitude to the Pasquarella family. By your work, our faculty, scholars, and artists, and our students are connecting our community to the great literary and cultural giants, from Homer to Hemingway, from Sophocles to Shakespeare and Wole Soyinka of West Africa, as well as Chinua Achebe. Our aesthetic imagination has been intrigued by the poetic chills of Chaucer's pedestrian travelers, Jules Verne's Sea-Bound Nemo, and H.G. Wells' futuristic time traveler. And so as we look back, we celebrate a great legacy of learning in this place of consequence. As we celebrate, we are poised to look ahead. In this recurrent beginning, we are called to advance the long march, joined in 1927, to sustain the sense of continuity as we enrich the tapestry of scholarly, social, cultural, and economic contributions from antiquity to the present. We are now called to look forward, and as we do, we are inspired by the transcendental and romantic alchemy of the greats like Thoreau, who said, "It is not what you look at that matters, it is what you see." So what do we see? Where do we go from here? After such a rich legacy, what is next? What is the next step? What is required to build on our accomplishments? These questions come with a sense of urgency. As I said in a talk I had with faculty yesterday, a great sense of urgency because some of the problems in our environment are morphing into crises. Some crises are threatening to transform themselves into catastrophe. We cannot let that happen, so there's a great sense of urgency. In Thomas Friedman's provocatively titled, "The World is Flat," Friedman sounds a grim warning. The coming of a brave new world of hyper-competitive globalization. As the world continues to shrink into a global supermarket, the competition for talent is getting more fierce, requiring even greater levels of excellence. Tom Friedman warns about the likely erosion of the United States leadership position unless the matter of preparedness for global society is addressed immediately. Likewise, the report of the National Commission on Accountability in Higher Education warns, for the first time in decades, the United States no longer leads the developed world in the rate of college completion. In addition, the large economies of China and India are working really hard to eat our lunch. Throughout, there's a rising urgency, a confluence of changes in the global economy, technology, certain social, cultural, and demographic indicators requires us to reassess our strategic priorities going forward. This seismic shift triggered by globalization, migration, warp speed communications is leading to many distortions in our social and economic life. We all, at least the scholars here, recall Thomas Kuhn's structure of scientific revolutions and talk about changing paradigms and changing understandings and the need for discovering a new consensus among the community of scholars. The changes in paradigm continue, right? Ptolemy gave way to Copernicus, and Euclid gave way to Newton. And today we are seeing a change in the global environment that requires us to sit up and take notice, to think about what we are doing, and to try to align our practices in higher education, to try to align our processes to address the urgency out there. As the pace of change accelerates, we recognize our young men and women today will be living in an exponentially altered world tomorrow. As a community of teachers, scholars, and learners, we are duty-bound to guide our students to prepare for the advent of this new world, a world in which the lines between local and global will be blurred or trespassed or obliterated totally. What is one to do when so much appears to be in flux? As the world turns, we are at the cusp and the crossroads of great possibility and promise, riding a crest of a tsunami-like wave of global change. We reflect about the future against the pervasive panorama of intertwined local, national, and global concerns, the threat of global pandemics, endemic global violence, mass terrorism, impending global environmental catastrophe, extreme poverty, intercultural mistrust, and the humming hatcheries of hopelessness that weigh down the global south. There is very much at stake. There is a sense of urgency. Recognizing we must prepare and adapt for change, we here at UPJ have taken the opportunity provided by the transition to develop a shared vision for a more purposeful and intentional approach to ensuring that all our young men and women can step up to the plate, ready for the real world, a highly interdependent and intensely competitive 21st century world, from the local to the global levels. The shape of our emerging vision can be summed up as a new dimension of excellence for real-world readiness. We envision a revitalized traditional arts and sciences education that is professionally complementary, socially grounded, technologically oriented, globally focused, interdisciplinary, and purposefully designed to ensure that students, upon graduation, are ready for the real world of the 21st century. We will purposefully and actively connect traditional liberal arts and sciences to the unfolding exigencies of a changing world, beginning here in our city, in our region, and beyond. We are envisioning a more distinctive, explicit, and intentional Pitt Johnstown signature, a first-class educational experience that is purposefully designed to produce relevant outcomes, graduates who are prepared to successfully engage, participate, serve, and lead in the emerging world of the 21st century, a complex world of escalating competitiveness and cascading interdependence, quoting Rosnow. There are several propositions, key elements of our emerging dimension of excellence in learning. We envision, one, in this new dimension of excellence, our graduates will be prepared in certifiable and accessible ways for the new world through a focus on the development of critical thinking skills, problem solving, communications, research, as well as a capacity and ability to gather information, synthesize it, and present it in a cogent and coherent manner. We aspire to a more intellectual culture where students, the citizens of tomorrow, I give you a shout to you, right? Where are you? The students, the citizens of tomorrow? Giving you a shout, that's right. Thank you. Where students, citizens of tomorrow, citizens today, but leaders of tomorrow, are stepping forward to prepare themselves for the real world, a life of purpose and consequence. We envision, by the time he or she graduates, the Pitt Johnstown student would have completed a significant internship experience a research and/or scholarship experience in our undergraduate research and scholarship program, a service and/or practical experience at the local, national, or global level that provides opportunities to apply theoretical knowledge to practical situations. We envision that by the time you graduate, hopefully in the not-too-distant future, by the time you graduate, UPJ students will be globally literate and interculturally competent, possessing the skills, dispositions, and competencies necessary for leadership in this new world. Our globally aware students will be more familiar with the pressing issues of our time. I envision UPJ will open its windows and doors to the world, inviting more international students to participate with us, at the same time sending more students abroad. I've had many conversations with Angela, our student government president, who's told me how study abroad transformed her life, helped her to understand the other, increased the capacity for foreign language, to start understand and speak a foreign language. We envision more faculty will avail themselves of international faculty exchanges and other transnational scholarly collaborations and engagements that lead to professional growth and benefit students. We envision the development of a more distinctive interdisciplinary community of inquiry, linking faculty within and beyond the institution, creating more coherent learning experiences for students consistent with the underlying unity and purpose of knowledge. In our new dimension of excellence, we envision a more inclusive internal environment as we hire more diverse faculty and staff and recruit more diverse students, including historically underrepresented minorities, as well as international students. In this new dimension of excellence, growing inclusivity and intercultural engagement will enrich community life and add luster to our institutional distinctiveness. In our new dimension of excellence, we will recruit, hire, support, recognize, reward, and celebrate high-quality faculty and staff in an environment of trust, collegiality, innovation, and shared governance. With regard to our faculty, our evolving teacher, scholar, citizen model holds great promise and possibility. I look forward to working with you as we develop that model and as we manage the impending retirements of several of our colleagues and as we work to orient new colleagues into our culture. We envision a purposeful engagement between the university and the community of Johnstown. This university will be more active with regard to our external constituencies, including alumni, community organizations, local businesses, and the panoply of friends of UPJ. As a vital community citizen, UPJ will be more attentive and more responsive to the workforce needs of the local and regional communities. We will contribute to the economic, social, and cultural well-being of our region. We believe the university and the city are joined together, their fortunes rising and falling together, their harvest, a shared bounty of hopes and dreams fulfilled. This bond is strengthened by the historic support the city has demonstrated for UPJ throughout our history. From the early pioneers who raised money and donated land, as well as their talents, parents, friends, neighbors, brothers and sisters, people of Johnstown have been committed to this university, and we're not going to let them down. We envision the development of a student-friendly culture of service, permeating all processes and structures of the university. We will foster a service-oriented ethos where concern for the fundamental long-term interests of students and best practices are paramount, beginning with our obligation to prepare our students for the real world of the 21st century. We will assess the user-friendliness of our services and processes from orientation to graduation, including our services for non-traditional and commuter students. We will assess use of alternative delivery formats where appropriate. We envision upgrading our campus infrastructure, including our technologies, benchmarking, of course, against relevant peers. In addition, we will address the long-standing student concerns, including enhanced use of technology inside and outside the classroom, increasing the number of high-tech ready smart classrooms, providing comprehensive wireless access, our foremost priority. I know, you knew I'll get to that, right? Well, I did. And above all, working very hard to develop a first-class health and wellness center. We will review carefully and advance as appropriate capital repair and renovation efforts necessary to sustain the quality of our beautiful campus. We envision the development of quality residential and extracurricular programming opportunities to create a more vibrant, stimulating, and socially exciting campus environment, including a campus-enriching athletic program. Go Mountain Cats. You know I'll say that, right? To that end, we will encourage and support greater participation in our social and cultural activities, as well as a greater focus on wellness, civic engagement, and leadership development. To enhance collegiate success, we will focus on effective advising, particularly in the critical freshman year. We envision the development of a first-class collegiate experience to enhance student success. Next, we will increase support for job placement efforts, refocusing our energies to ensure that more of our graduates transition smoothly and rapidly into well-paying jobs, very shortly after graduation. We envision a more vibrant program mix, attracting quality students, faculty, and staff, the development of a more responsive curriculum, and a right mix of academic programs in light of our needs and resources, as well as the demands of the local and regional economy. We will grow our resource base through prudent fiscal choices and investments in the future of our institution. We will build the endowment and provide adequate resources for scholarships and new programs. We envision an optimal enrollment mix that balances greater selectivity with inclusivity, quality with affordability, academic imperatives, and prudent fiscal management. Through a comprehensive, coordinated, and consistent enrollment management strategy, we will progressively approach the enrollment target of 3,100 FTE with paramount considerations of quality, inclusivity, access, and affordability. We will foster a culture of accountability and evidence for continuous improvement through effective planning, goal setting, benchmarking, and assessment, particularly assessment of student learning outcomes. We envision our transition into an era where we meet the challenge for greater accountability through more effective program evaluation and continuous improvement. We envision a more distinctive UPJ brand, enjoying greater visibility, awareness, and commendations, particularly as the higher education environment becomes more competitive. As we post gains in preparing students for the real world, we envision UPJ will flourish, becoming a leader, even more so, and in a greater distance or area, a leader in public and private undergraduate excellence. We envision our small college community, nestled in a uniquely picturesque campus, will continue to be a place where face-to-face interaction, person-to-person interactivity, and eyeball-to-eyeball dialogue with respect and civility across disciplinary frontiers and bureaucratic silos are the norm. We envision a culture of positive engagement and civility, grounded in the norms of fostering shared governance at UPJ, including promoting active participation of all constituencies and governance bodies in the life of the campus, including the Faculty Senate, the Student Senate, and the Staff Association Council. We envision our community leaders, the advisory board, and alumni will become even more active participants as we develop the new dimension of excellence. We will enhance our relations with the entire University of Pittsburgh. We will proceed in a collegial and collaborative manner as we advance our agenda in the context of wider university goals and respectful to all units within the University of Pittsburgh. We will be Mountain Cat proud as we advocate for UPJ while being a constructive team player and a positive force for all schools in the university. This is a bold vision, but we are brave people. We are resilient people. There's a tide in the affairs of men, and I know my dad will remember this because he taught me when. There's a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood, and that's not a good thing to say around here, Dad. I'll start again. William Shakespeare. There's a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their lives is bound in the shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures. To attain this new dimension of excellence will be exciting. It'll be a journey fraught with some frustration and some setbacks as well. Like the epic march of the penguins, our journey will take us through tall peaks and harsh terrain, but we will succeed. Our efforts will face setbacks, some unforeseen problems, maybe a family argument or two, but we will succeed. We will never despair. Despite our occasional frustrations, we remain hopeful. We continue to subscribe to the value of reason and the virtue of reasonableness in the governance of human affairs. Dear friends, it is the fall term, but spring is near. Springtime is always near. Our imagination and our dreams maintain us in the perennial spring, always blooming with blue and gold optimism. I am confident we will succeed as we pursue this new dimension of excellence. Notwithstanding the seasonal ebb and flow of our oft tempestuous times, we will make substantial progress. We will succeed because we believe in the future. We will succeed because we are proud of UPJ, Mountain Cat proud of our students, our staff, our faculty, including our retired faculty and staff, because we are proud of our community members, because we are persuaded that investing in the future of our young people and our cities and our republic is worthwhile, because we recognize that apathy, indifference, and complacency are serious deadly sins, impediments to progress, because we love UPJ and the University of Pittsburgh, because we wish to secure the blessings of liberty and a great education to future generations, because we know that although we live in the Laurel Highlands, we need to keep working hard to brighten our laurels, because we are betting long on the future, because we are betting on our young men and women, citizens and leaders, upon whose shoulders the responsibility to sustain this great republic will rest in the future. I spoke about a legacy of consequence. I talked about our inheritance. But we are restive heirs. We are not content to take our inheritance and go to bed. We are not simply content to don the mantle of this legacy. We do not seek to rest on our laurels. We will continue the journey because the stakes are high. The stakes are too high. The metaphor of a journey that I keep going back to reminds me that we are just passing through. Time is running out, and we must proceed apace, imbued with a sense of urgency, scythe in hand, sloughing the fields of hope, sowing the seeds of hope, cultivating and liberating minds, preparing for a great harvest in order to do justice to our legacy. From our position in the great tower of learning, Pitt people, as the Chancellor refers to us, have accepted our role to make a difference. And we will be judged. We will be judged by how well we prepared our graduates for the world of the 21st century. On the cusp and crossroads of possibility and promise, with peril lurking in certain places, we are challenged to make positive contributions to ongoing global struggles for inclusion, social justice, human dignity, human rights, and sustainability. We are called to foster greater awareness of the interconnectedness of the human family and to encourage understanding and cooperation between peoples of the world. We may suffer from an inadequate capacity to achieve these lofty aims, but we do not suffer from a lack of imagination. We will not suffer from a deficit of ideals. We will remain faithful to our legacy, to the legacy that inspired our predecessors through the ages, including the cosmopolitan and humanistic vision of the Stoics, Erasmus, Kant, as well as the transcendentalism of Emerson and Thoreau. If we succeed, when we succeed, our graduates will be ready for the real world. They will have the knowledge, skills, and attributes of educated persons, including constant curiosity, spirited skepticism, and a passion for the pursuit of lifelong learning. Our graduates and alumni would have enjoyed an education that honed the head, but also tempered the heart, that liberated the individual for the pursuit of private ends, but moderated that with an ethos of concern and care and solidarity for humanity. Our graduates will enjoy material rewards of being productive members of the 21st century workforce, but they will also have a solid foundation for meaningful individual fulfillment. Our graduates prepared for the real world will be informed, engaged, and public-spirited citizens imbued with an ethos of concern for humanity writ large. In this regard, if we achieve our new dimension of excellence, our Ready for the World graduates will fulfill their highest potential as individuals, citizens, and leaders serving their communities from the local, national, to the international level. Succeed we must. Through our Millennium Plus March for the Progress of Mankind, the Academy, including people at the Cathedral of Learning, to the Laurel Highlands, have banked on the future, dedicating ourselves to the proposition that an education is the most powerful way to bring light, to bring hope to the isolated corners of the human mind, to uplift the oppressed, to lessen the suffering of multitudes, to diminish cruelty, and to instill a deep and abiding ethos of solidarity for humanity. We will be measured someday. The provost speaks a lot about assessment. We will be measured, but we'll measure ourselves. We'll measure ourselves not by the clothes that we inherited or by the antique fabrics that we got. We will measure ourselves by how well we took what we had to build a coat that fit our size and our hopes and our ambitions. We will be judged by how we traveled across the fields of civilization in this small corner, this neck of the woods of Southwest Pennsylvania and beyond. Most importantly, we will be judged by how well we adjusted and adapted and reconciled our processes and structures to address the pressing issues of our time. Whatever will be said about our effort, it will be said that we had the courage to confront these issues, that we did not run away because of fear of contentiousness, that we were bold because we believed in the virtue of reason, and that we believed in the levitating power of reasonableness in human affairs. It will be said that even on the most difficult day, we marched towards what Confucius refers to as the way of the sages. We marched in solidarity as colleagues and friends engaged in a common enterprise, kindred folks in fellowship for a shared journey. Anchored in our living traditions, We do not see the difference between yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We believe that in the academy they are connected. They are connected because we are not what we were yesterday. We are not what we are today. We are what we are becoming as a result of a synthesis of all of that. And we believe that whatever happens as we work to achieve this new dimension of excellence, we will work together. And I cannot promise that we will fulfill every expectation tomorrow or next year or in the next 5 or 10, but I pledge to you that I will devote all my energies, all my talents to working towards this vision. In an intergenerational compact between the past and the present, we have an obligation to shore the foundations of the Tower of Learning, to extend our cathedral towards the heavens, towards the skies, so that future generations may avail themselves of the common heritage and birthright, the pursuit of truth and the betterment of humankind. Godspeed, my dear friends. Godspeed. Godspeed as we begin another leg of our journey, another year as cultivators of change, fashioning and forging an alternate future through the alchemy of our ideals, seeding the fields of hope and tending the frail gardens of the human mind, one magical moment at a time. As the clock steadily counts down, as the seasons go by, let us proudly say, we are fulfilling our obligations to our predecessors. We are leaving our imprints for a not-too-distant posterity as we rush out of the caves into liberating sunlight. Dear Chancellor Nordenberg and Provost Maher, it is indeed an honor to accept your invitation and the invitation of our faculty, of our staff, of our students, the alumni, the people of the Johnstown community, and all the schools of the University of Pittsburgh. It is an honor to accept this invitation. I look forward to working with you to realize your vision and the goals that you've established for the great University of Pittsburgh. Go Pitt.
Thank you, Dr. Spectar, for your stirring words and for your inspiring example. You already are an accomplished leader. Today, we welcome you to this new leadership position, the most important you have held in your distinguished career. In doing so, we wish you the best of everything in all that lies ahead. We look forward to years of high impact and positive achievement under your committed leadership, and all of us stand with you, not just today, but also in the months and years ahead as your enthusiastic partners. As we end this convocation, I would like to take this opportunity to remind and invite you to come to the post-inaugural reception, which will take place in Heritage Hall in the nearby Living and Learning Center immediately following the ceremony. There will be a receiving line, and you can personally greet President Spectar and formally welcome him to the university community there. Let me then now call upon Professor Vic Roy again.
The assembly will now be led by the UPJ Concert Choir in the singing of the Alma Mater, which will be followed by the benediction, also sung by the UPJ Concert Choir, with accompaniment by the ceremonial quintet. Will the audience please rise for the Alma Mater and then take your seats for the benediction.
Will the audience please remain seated during the recessional? On behalf of President Spectar and the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown, I reiterate Chancellor Nordenberg's invitation to join us at a reception honoring our new president. It will be held in the Living Learning Center, which is the facility to your right as you exit the Pascarilla Performing Arts Center. As University Marshal of this installation ceremony, I hereby declare these proceedings closed. Will President Spectar, the platform guests, and honored guests please follow me now? Thank you.